But again, we believe that this is a win-win situation, because companies benefit from this transparency by means of their reputation of being a societal player. And on the other hand, we have patients and government who knows what is happening and they have a clear view on those interactions. Budgetary sustainability and predictability. I think a very important measure of this government and cabinet was to make the Belgian system of price increases simpler and more transparent by combining all the consecutive price increases after a patent loss and to combine it in one big major patent loss. Stimulating companies to compensate that income loss by bringing new innovation to the market. And this measure, combined with other measures stimulating the competition in the post-patent market, is a major contribution in order to liberate a budget of 1.6 billion euro during the duration of that government, a budget which can be invested in innovation. However, it is doubtful that this budgetary margin will cover all the growing needs, because based on an analysis that we did in the context of this pact, it seems that the needs will grow on an average and annual pace of 1.4% on a yearly basis. Now, in the multi-annual trajectory that we provide for medicines budget in Belgium, we provide an average annual growth of 0.5%. So this means that the sector needs to contribute during the duration of this government approximately 230 million euros if we want to cover all the needs. Given also the strict budgetary context of Belgium, an additional effort on the budgetary field cannot be excluded as was illustrated this year. But nevertheless, if this case occurs, the principles that we stated in the working arrangements are respected in that regard. Finally, regarding the budget, allow me to elaborate 30 seconds on biological medicines. As we all know, biological medicines, they become more and more important also in budgetary terms. And that's why that we believe that competition in that market segment is required in order to obtain lower prices and more budgetary margin at all, meaning also more access to the patient. The concept of biosimilar, in our view, are a very important leverage in this regard. Now, the Cabinet, together with its stakeholders, are very closely monitoring the market evolutions and the uptake of biosimilars in the Belgian market. It was stated that there is an initial goal of 20% biosimilars for bio-naive patients, for biological medicines where there is a biosimilar alternative on the market, also taking into account the therapeutic characteristics of that particular area. The tools that we are using for that today are that close monitoring, but also we are focusing on tenders. And currently there are no enforcing measures to achieve that goal. Looking to working arrangements. The working arrangements in the pact are centralized around communication, discussion, and collaboration. Every 3 months there is a discussion between the sector and representatives of the cabinet, and the minister herself and the sector, they are meeting twice a year. The implementation of the pact is very closely monitored, but although we have very good working arrangements, that does not mean that discussions are always very easy. For example, in case if there are measures popping up that were not provided in the pact, we engage to have a preliminary discussion before we move forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, this pact of the future with the biotech and the pharmaceutical industry, it's all about the patient. Medicines are literally a vital link in the therapeutic process, and the Minister wants to ensure that patients continue to have a sustainable and payable access to the most innovative therapies, the best medical care, and that drugs meet the highest quality standards. However, this also means that we need to drive innovation. providing the right incentives and creating the most appropriate environment, not necessarily focusing on merely financial issues like prices, but